A wind farm, Donald Thomas thinks, is ruining his health.
Blinding headaches, the pain right now in the back of my head here.
Thomas blames the low-frequency noise generated by 128 nearby turbines. It was to address concerns like Thomas's that Australia's government, under Prime Minister Tony Abbott, appointed a commissioner to investigate the complaints. But environmentalists thought Abbott was seizing upon anecdotal and spurious health concerns to justify an attack on wind power. And they said that was part of a broader campaign against renewable energy and in favour of fossil fuels. Abbott once described the science of climate change as absolute crap. He scrapped an environmental tax on carbon emissions and declared coal as good for humanity. As for renewable energy and wind farms, to some that is a sight of grace, even beauty, but not to Tony Abbott. Wind farms he and his closest ministers thought were a blight on the landscape.
Up close, they're ugly, they're noisy, and they may have all sorts of other impacts, which I will leave to the scientists to study.
I must say, I find those wind turbines around Lake George to be utterly offensive.
Abbott's government withdrew financial support for wind farms and solar projects. They reduced targets for renewable energy production, proposed unambitious reductions in Australia's carbon emissions, and last Friday Abbott laughed at a colleague's joke caught on an unnoticed microphone about how climate change would sink islands. On Monday, Tony Abbott lost his job. Australia's new Prime Minister, Malcolm Turnbull, has a history of taking climate change more seriously. Those in the renewable energy sector think he understands the potential of their industry. Chris Judd believed Tony Abbott's policies were embarrassing and retrograde. With Turnbull as Prime Minister, he's hopeful that over time that will change.
We need to be looking at clean industry as a new area for investment and growth that will fuel this economy moving forward in years to come. And we're very encouraged and supportive that will be the case.
Turnbull's first big test on the environment will be international talks on climate change in Paris at the end of the year. Tony Abbott hadn't even said he'd attend. If Turnbull does, it will be a first sign of a greener government. Andrew Thomas, Al Jazeera, Ballarat.